Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Cocktail Hour. I am Meg.
And I'm Nikki. And if you're a vendor headed to a wedding this weekend, this episode is dedicated to you.
Today we're talking through some rough experiences that bridal parties have gone through, or sometimes they've even caused these issues, which I'm not surprised by. This is a account at Photo Film by Shy. I feel like that's a mistype. I'm gonna clarify.
We're gonna go with
later.
it. We're gonna roll with it. It'll be in the show
that.
notes if you need to find the at.
Yeah, but before that, as always, ketchup.
Okay.
I'm giving it to you. Well, let me preface.
I know.
Let me preface really quick. So Nick and I have a document where we can write some shit down, some buzzwords, things that we can catch up on. Nick has not written anything down. Instead, she has kept this private in a notes app. So I legitimately have no idea what she's coming
Here's why. Because last week we did our Texas recap. You had taken some notes, about Texas and stuff that we had done. But there was one really important moment that you did not add to the notes. And I think it was out of fear of having this man, this murderer, find us and kill us because...
Do I have dementia? I don't know what we're talking about.
You do. So do I. When we were driving down to Texas, Meg was in the driver's seat. First of all, I would really like to touch on the gas pumping situation because it's very similar to me like flushing a tampon, okay? And do you flush a tampon? Probably yes. Regularly, bitch. You know you do.
Since birth, since birth of using a tampon, I have flushed them down the toilet.
Me too.
I'm so sorry to any...
Did my uncle almost whoop my ass once because I did that and their drain got clogged? 100%. Did I continue to do it after? 100%.
Yeah.
Did I do it up north at a cabin with my friends and have the whole establishment shut down and have them have to come fish it out because the toilet stopped working? 100%.
Nicole.
Did I pretend like it wasn't me? 100%. I was like, well, I don't know. My friend looked at me. She's like, you're the only one on your fucking period, bitch.
Yeah.
She did know. So what I want to say, though, is, when at a gas pump, I am curious to the listener, do you wait with the car or do you run inside and do your quick little shopping? Because
as the gas is flowing from
the pump, because I've always been somebody to just hook it up, leave it, go inside, do my thing, come back, unhook it, get in my car with my sweet treats and go. What I learned about Meg on this trip is that she does not do that. And she so seriously looked at me and was like, it's on the fucking sign, Nikki. Like I'm not leaving my car. It's on the sign. So I'm sitting here looking at the signs and I'm like, okay, next gas station. I'm looking at the signs. I'm like, I don't see it.
We're not seeing it, by the way.
I did Google it, though. And I will say, is it more safe and whatever to obviously stay with your car? 100%. Yeah. It's a thing, obviously, which is why you do it, even though you're not a rule follower in any other way. But this is her thing. So we're sitting there at the gas station in bumfuck Oklahoma, okay? And this Meg goes inside to get something. She's done pumping her gas. She comes back outside. I look at her and I go, the guy next to us just put a lit cigarette, which that is a big no-no, by the way. You don't smoke at the gas pump. So I look at her and I was like, he just put a whole entire lit cigarette. Mind you, this man looked like he was fresh out of prison. He was fresh out of prison.
If anyone's getting deported based on looks, it's this guy.
He looked like a scary white man, okay? He looked like he was killing people in the basement of, and this is so judgmental. We don't judge people.
We really don't. Actually, we're very progressive.
But we were scared. We were scared because here's what happened. I look at Meg, I said, this man just put a fully lit cigarette, had just lit it up, put it on the ground. He ran inside. And I was like, this man is going to kill us all at the gas station. What does Meg do? I wish I could get up right now and visualize this for everybody. She gets up, she walks over because it's on the other side of the car where she is. Yeah. She looks at it, full stomp on this man's freshly lit cigarette. And then she proceeds to lollygag, let me get some garbage. Do you have any trash that you need thrown away? I look at her and I go, this man is going to come out, see that you just curb stomped his fresh cigarette, probably the first one since he's been out of prison. First one. and he's going to murder us.
I can't believe I forgot about this. Mind you, I thought in the moment, it didn't cross my mind. Nikki's like, yo, oh my God, like he just threw a fucking cigarette there. I thought he had thrown it kind of like,
no, bitch.
Oh, I'm done. I took a few puffs. I'm done with this cigarette. And
no, it was fresh.
And I stomped it because I was like, what a fucking idiot. Like he's going to blow us all up.
Yeah.
And then after I did that and I'm grabbing trash and stuff, it hits me randomly where I go, oh my God, he was coming back for that cigarette.
We booked it out of there.
And I just killed it. We gotta go.
We hightailed it.
Crazy. I got in the car. We drove very quickly to like different.
The nearest Wendy's.
Yeah, we went to a Wendy's and then we were like, no, we don't want any Wendy's. Let's go to Taco Bell or whatever. Like we moving
went back
around.
To Wendy's.
I was purposefully moving anywhere I could because I just needed to like.
Meg was like, is he following us? I go, nope. I got the license plate. I got the make and model of the car. I know what the driver looks like. I know what the passenger looks like. We're good. But I thought that was so funny. And it randomly just came to me because for whatever reason, whatever, it came to me. But I was like, we didn't even talk about that on the pod after doing our Texas recap.
See, that's the thing about road trips. So many things happen that you just, you know.
Yep.
'Tis what it is.
Okay, a couple of other things. I'll keep this like really short and I'll just touch on a few things. I have press-on nails on and I am fucking with it.
Yeah?
I am vibing. I've had these on for a week. If you look too close, yes, bitch.
A week.
A week. Okay, 5 days. But that's still close enough. I am rocking with this and I am convinced that from now on, I'm going to buy $5.99 press-on nails.
Yeah.
This is my new thing. Like, who would know? You're not looking close enough.
They look great. My question
From a
is,
distance.
do you do like just the nail glue? Do you put them under any
No,
sort of light?
this is nail glue, baby, all day. I glued them on there. I've showered with them. I've worked out 3 times this week with them.
You've been killing it. I've been watching your Instagram
Thank
videos.
you. I'm back in the gym.
Doing those deadlifts or snatches. Or
back in the gym.
Whatever they're called.
But if anybody, if you're like, shit, I'm so tired of paying to get my nails done all the time, which I love my nail girl.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jackie.
But
these are $5.99 at Target.
Yeah.
Like,
it's hard. When I used to get my nails done at a specific place, which I enjoyed, it always after tip ended up being close to $200.
Which is insane.
Insane. And I was going, let's say once a month, $200, and I would sit for 3 hours.
Okay, see, I don't do that. My girl gets me done in 45 minutes. I'm quicking them out.
The new place I go to, it's $88 for the builder gel, and I'm out of there within an hour, which is still great. But I mean, $5.99, you can't beat it.
Are you kidding me? No.
If the listeners out there have any press-on nails that they really love,
let us know.
Let us know.
Because I would love to hear it. Like, I would love to hear it. Okay. Another thing, road trip related. Meg and I are big podcast girlies, and I've never really listened. My mom really likes Armchair Expert, which is with Dax Shepard and Monica
Hadman. Yeah.
Sure. But so I really enjoyed the Armchair Anonymous that they did that you had put on. And I was like, you know what? Let me listen to a quick Armchair Anonymous yesterday as I'm showering and getting ready for the day. It was a Forbidden Love one. Have you listened to this one? Okay.
I'm behind on the Anonymouses.
Spoiler alert. I just have to say, if we had a call-in line where people were calling us in with their like stuff, the way that I would judge, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be like, what the fuck? I would literally stop people and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. Because this man, it was a Forbidden Love episode. One girl's like, I'm a therapist and like I kind of like really like my client. Like she's got a boyfriend of 3 years. She's like, I'm really feeling like love toward him, blah, blah, blah. Crazy. Okay. The last one, this man calls in and he's like, yeah, I went to a dolphinarium, which is like a dolphin aquarium.
Yeah.
Full on had a sexually arousal experience where he and a dolphin had a moment. And mind you, it's behind glass. It's in water. Man is standing here. They have a moment. The dolphin swims up. It's just them. Dolphin is fully standing in front of him like this. Like they're locking eyes. Here's my thing. Did they probably know each other in a past life? Yes, I do believe that. I've met animals. I met a cow once. His name was Norman, which is I've never eaten cow meat since then.
Yeah.
Norman and I knew each other from a past life. I met him in a petting zoo. Like, I remember this, but I felt like he was like my baby. Like, he was like just a baby. Like, I think Baxter might be a reincarnated cow or something.
Can the producers of the show please ensure we clip that for socials?
Yes. Seriously.
Fucking Norman. Okay.
Okay. This man is sharing how he full on saw this dolphin. They like locked eyes, connected. They were like feeling each other. And he got a fucking boner. And he's calling in this podcast.
Telling people.
Yes. And he was like, yeah. And the dolphin's a guy. And he's like, because I'm gay. So like, I just like automatically assumed like the dolphin was male, like blah, 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 whatever. I full on was like, I would die with that secret buried deep inside my butthole. It would never leave. And to put that on a public platform, and Dax and Monica are like, oh my gosh, wow. Like, thanks for sharing that. That's so interesting. Like, wow, blah, 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 blah. Like, asking all these questions.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you're fucking twat.
Crazy. That's like step one of I married a goat and I fuck it. Like, that is
crazy.
Diabolical.
So anyway, that popped up, and then it just also made me think of like Murder with My Husband. Have you listened to any additional episodes?
I have. I've literally just started. I go to what have I not played yet, and I've just started listening to
So
them.
I love Murder with My Husband because I love true crime.
Yeah.
I will say so many people hate that podcast because they hate her voice, which I'll give it to them. It doesn't bother me. It does nothing for me.
Yeah.
And I love just listening to the stories because of how they play out.
Yeah.
That was almost it. Craig's leaving he left for fishing opener. He's gone for 5 days. And honestly, thank God, because he was really starting to annoy me. I love that man. But like, holy shit.
Where are they going for opener? Like Mille Lacs
Voyager National Park, which is like way up border of Canada.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah. He loves doing that. Yeah. We went fishing the other day, had a good time.
I saw that.
And then, I've just been touring more spaces for the social suite and getting some.
How'd it go today?
It went well. I will say it is a difficult process. Just it's hard when there are three of us trying to make decisions too, because like I might feel one way about a space and the other girls might feel a different way about the space and so on and so forth. So it's just really hard when it's not a new build that's like something that we all fall in love with. We really have to use our like creative minds and think
there's
like
pros
long term.
And cons to every space.
Yeah.
Which is
so
hard.
We're just kind of rocking with it. We saw 2 spaces again today, and I feel good. I feel really good about them.
Yeah.
I feel great. We just all have to be on the same page and like see what we can rock out and get the ball rolling, because
I was gonna say, I know we want to be open. Probably eager to be like, let's do this. We've been planning this forever.
And I think being eager in situations like that also leads you to being like, well, let's just jump on the first thing that comes your way. And that's not what we're trying to do. Like we're trying to be really mindful and purposeful about where we land so that we can really best serve all of our clientele.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's my update.
I love it. Okay, my update. Heading to Atlanta for a shoot next week. Every year I try to do one styled shoot, like one paid, where I paid for it. I will pay a solid amount of money. I like the time to just like take a breather, practice different gear, all that good stuff. So heading out to Atlanta at the Swan House. So very excited.
It looks so pretty.
So fucking pretty. So we'll see how that goes. Tickets, by the way, flights are insane.
Really?
It was $500 to fly down to Atlanta, and like no hate on Atlanta, but like $500. And I've been tracking flights for 6 months.
Wow.
And it never dipped roughly below 500. Watch, they're probably $100 right now.
It's $64.99 for a one way.
I did consider doing that thing. I've never done this in my life, but I consider doing that thing where like you get a flight somewhere else, but there's a layover in Atlanta, because I'm only gonna have a carry-on, and then you can hop off and whatever. 2 issues with that. Number one, I mean, I'd have to get a one-way, because then my return flight would be from that other airport. But I have heard of people getting in trouble for that and getting blocked from the airlines.
Wow, really?
They will not allow you to, because they're like, you are fucking up the statistics of how many seats we have and all this different stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, don't make Atlanta seats so expensive. Wedding season's officially here. When I looked at my calendar for the next 6 to 7 months, I do not have a single weekend open. And we're going to talk more about that. There's a couple Instagram videos that I came across, and I was like, I want to talk about these a little bit and get your opinion on it. But I will just say it's about to be busy.
Crazy.
It's gonna, I'm nervous just because we added the podcast to the mix. Obviously, like the social speed. We've added things on top of the busyness that we already had. but I'm ready for it. Beyonce. So I'm repping my Cowboy Carter. This is not what I will wear to the show, but I have seen a lot of videos. I'm so fucking excited. Adam and I will be there next weekend in Chicago. Saturday.
Is that next? Oh my God, that's already next weekend. That means I'll be 32 so soon.
So soon.
Which, like, I love filming Monday 6 a.m., but I don't want to film on Monday, May 19th at 6 a.m. So maybe if we could do like Tuesday.
We absolutely could. Also, Adam and I are coming back from Chicago on Monday.
Oh, okay.
So we ain't even going to be home.
Cool. Tuesday.
But we're going to the Saturday and the Sunday show. An update for you on tickets. So I called Ticketmaster because I'm pretty pissed about my Sunday tickets. I feel like I paid so much money. Mind you, this is before everything went down with the household finances, but I paid so much money for my Sunday tickets, and seeing videos that people are taking, they're all pissed. There's view obstructions, like things that you should know before you buy any ticket, let alone a ticket of this cost.
I agree.
So I call Ticketmaster. They do not care. When I tell you, I've never spoken to more rude customer service reps. They do not care. Whatever. I'm pleading my case. I'm like letting them know, look, I am not a rich person. Like, this money is money. I would love either back, or could I even exchange my ticket?
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be a more expensive seat. It could be a cheaper seat, but just with a little bit better of a view. I don't care. And they go, no, you cannot.
Not how it works.
Not how it works, honey. They're like, Ticketmaster has nothing to do with this. This is the artist and Live Nation. Like, we cannot help you with anything. I call multiple times because I'm that person, and I'm not being mean, but I am being firm with my statements and just how I just don't feel like this is ethical to do, whatnot. So I did work with someone who was like, look, I see, she's like, I cannot do anything about your Sunday show. You paid for a very expensive ticket. It's a VIP. It's will call only. Like, I can't even help you sell your ticket. You have to go pick it up.
You're done.
You're done. However, your Saturday show, she goes, let me see what I can do about that. She was able to get me from the 300 section, because we got a shitty seat to see the whole production.
Yeah.
And then a really great seat for the next day. And she was like, I can exchange that ticket. They had just opened up pit, like, if you know anything about Beyonce, here's her stage. She always has, in the middle of the stage, there's pit seats. They had just opened some of those up for a third of the price of what they were originally going for. She goes, I can move you down there for minimal, like extra money to add on to it. So I was like,
done.
So Saturday we'll be in like the pit. Sunday we'll be in kind of the side pit that is a ticket 3 times more expensive with 3 times worse of the view. But be ready to be sick of me.
Do you know what's so funny?
What?
I was going to message you and be like, let me buy Adam's Saturday ticket and go with you. And like, dude.
Oh, that's blue. Oh my gosh, that scared the shit out of me.
That was the Lord saying, save your money, bitch. You don't need to go to Beyonce to me.
2 things. Number 1.
Let him in?
No. Just lock the door.
Oh,
yeah.
Poor guy.
Sorry, we're totally not cutting this out of the show. Yeah, just lock it. There we go.
He wants to come in.
Can you see the door in your video? No, you're good.
No.
He does want to come in. He wants to be in here so bad. But you should come to the Saturday show.
I know.
Do you know how much fun we would have?
I know. And then I was like, fuck, I have a wedding on the 17th. So I can't anyway. So I literally was like, that would be so fun. And then I stopped myself and was like, never mind. Should I just let him in?
No, you absolutely shouldn't. But wait, what day is the 17th? Is that Saturday?
Yeah.
Why don't you come to the Sunday show? I have to fucking pay for the tickets are paid for, ho.
I can't. Okay. Monday's my birthday. Like, it's going to be a weekend. Here's the thing. Every year I tell myself, don't take a wedding on your weekend, on your birthday weekend. Every single year that I've worked weddings, I keep telling myself, like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Every single year I've done it.
Yeah.
And I don't regret it.
Prime time birthday.
Yeah.
Though. Like,
I do. It is like, it's prime wedding season. Yeah. Like it's right in the thick of things. And like, I never regret it because I love working with my couples and like it's work. I love being able to work. I'm super grateful for the opportunity. But I really wish I could stick to my guns and saying like, take that weekend off. Just like enjoy yourself. Do something with your family. Go somewhere. Go see fucking Beyonce with Meg. Like do something that's not working.
Yeah, I get it.
And like my grandma died on my birthday, so I'm like, I deserve this.
True. I'm not the one that I'll ever be like, yeah, you should. I work. It doesn't matter. No,
I know.
I love Adam. His birthday is on a Thursday. I got a micro wedding request for it. I'm like, sorry, honey, I will be working on your birthday. And I know there are people out there judging me hard. I will work on my birthday. I will work on Christmas Day. I don't care. And that's not great. Like you said, I wish I was like, no, go with your family. I will say I'm better at that than you.
Yeah. I'm way better at that than you. But for some reason, and it is because my birthday is in prime time, like wedding season, that I'm like,
it's easy to justify. Yeah. Well, here's what I'll say. I'm laying it out on the table that if at any point you decide you want to go to the Sunday show,
I'll let you know.
You got a ticket.
I get in the car on Saturday.
You don't even have to pay for it. No, you literally don't even have to pay for it. What am I going to... The amount of money I spent on that dumbass ticket, I don't even care. You don't have to pay for it. It would just be fun to make you a Beyonce fan. Anyways, okay, a couple other things. Adam and I think you and Z also were watching Righteous Gemstones. Have you continued or were you paused?
We've paused.
We just started season 3 last night. I know we're behind. One of the best shows I've seen in my life.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. Danny McBride can do no wrong. I need to start looking at everything he's created and just start going down the list. Because
also, as a girly who was a member of a wannabe mega church, cult-like church, I cannot tell you the amount of correlations while watching that I made, especially I was the pastor's daughter for any of you listening. He has since disowned me, wants absolutely nothing to do with me, pretends like I've never, ever existed in his entire life.
Yeah.
But it's fine. He's just my stepdad. So like, whatever, fuck him anyway.
Worst.
He's the woat, worst of all time. But yes, but it's so similar. And I think people take it as like, oh, it's so much satire. Like, it's not. Like, there are real people in this world that operate just like that. Uncle Billy, anyway.
The best character ever. We love... Walton Goggins is actually on SNL this coming weekend.
Oh.
Which I think this will post after that, but I'm excited to see that.
Last weekend.
If you don't watch SNL, go check it out. Okay, last thing. I was talking to Adam about when I perish... I would like to be cremated. I would prefer into a tree, but I feel like Adam will be so distraught at that point. He's not going to remember where to go to get me in with these ladies who put you in a tree or whatever, grow you into a tree.
At least he's not keeping you in the fucking freezer.
I would prefer it. But I think he would be nasty.
He would not be. Yeah, he'd be like, no, bitch.
But tell me, am I selfish? So he was like, well, where would you want your ashes spread? And I go... Baby,
Beyonce's house.
Well, everywhere. The limit is like non-existent. You go on a trip, you take a little vial with you of me. But there also always needs
a little
to
plastic
be
baggie.
Like some of me in the house, because if some other bitch comes into my home,
I'm haunting her.
Yeah, a piece of me needs to be
haunting,
there to
full
connect
on
with the earth side and ruin her life. But everywhere you go, you take a little bit of me, you sprinkle me there.
Yeah.
And it will be your job now, I don't care how old you are, to hit each continent.
Yeah.
Even dangerous.
No, I'm cool with that.
Gaza, pyramids, giddy up. You got to get there. There's a lot going on, but I need you to take a little bit of me if I didn't make it there in my lifetime.
You wouldn't go there anyway, bitch. How about he takes you places that you would have wanted to go?
I would go
Don't
there.
Lie.
You know what the best part is? It's not that I wouldn't go there because I'm like, oh, the politics are like, it's unsafe. It would be such a long travel.
I know. That's literally
so exhausting.
It would be not worth it.
When people go to like, I don't know, Petra, like in Jerusalem, like all these places, unless it's a like a religious experience, you know, they go because they love history. I'm just like, that sounds like a long like time, a lot of work to get somewhere just to feel a little something. Can we go to
Beyonce?
Yeah, or like Mexico.
He goes to every Beyonce concert that happens, and he tosses your ashes up in the air.
No, at her.
She goes,
yeah. Every time she sees him, she knows what's coming.
He's on like their most wanted list. Like, do not let him in. That's so funny.
Oh, poor baby. I did tell him that one thing that would make me very proud is if I perished, let's say tomorrow, that he needs to take Louis and he needs to move it forward. And now he is the face of Louis and I need him to become a world-renowned photographer.
Okay.
So you're responsible for
okay,
making sure
I
that
got you.
happens. Yeah. Okay, a couple of videos before we get to our we don't even have stories. I more just pulled some Instagram posts, but there are some videos. I'm going to just pull up the first one. Obviously for the listener, you may not. Well, actually, I could play it out loud. I'm going to play the. Give me one sec.
Okay. Also, go Wolves. Wolves won yesterday from when we were recording.
That was a fun game.
Oh my gosh. Also, I got engaged 2 years ago or 1 year ago Sunday.
Oh, I was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. I'm just lying.
Okay. This might be loud. You guys ready for the first video?
Yeah.
For the viewers, I will put it on the screen, but listeners, I'm going to just play it out loud.
Audio only.
If a man proposes to you with a ring you hate, I think immediately you say no and break up. Because what that guy is telling you is, I have took absolutely zero time to learn anything about you. And I went out and spent thousands of dollars on a thing that I didn't even care to ask if you would like.
Okay, so that's the first video. What are your thoughts on that?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Honestly, here's the thing. I think it's so different for you and I being people who have gotten engaged later in life.
Yeah.
As somebody who got engaged as a 21-year-old, I was very naive back then. Things were very different. I didn't have an idea of what I wanted. Yeah. And when I did get engaged, I actually didn't get formally proposed to. So when Craig proposed, that was the first time I've actually ever been proposed to. So it was very special.
Yeah.
Because when my ex-husband and I got engaged, quote unquote, he had bought me a promise ring from Macy's, which was very nice. It was very sweet. Like, I obviously loved it. However, we were such a young couple. Like, he was still in school. He was doing a lot of like postgraduate education. He was in school. So we didn't really have money. We didn't have anything. And when we got engaged, quote unquote, it was a conversation that we had with my parents, who were literal cult leaders at the time, saying like, well, you guys want to be together forever. So like, why don't you just like get married? Like, just go ahead and get married. Yeah. It wasn't like, I love you so much, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. So we just used that old ring. And I remember always thinking like, I don't like this ring. Yeah. It's not what I want. So now as an adult who fully had a say, I fully respect any woman or man, for that matter, who wants an engagement ring, who says like, I want to go pick it out because I know what I want. And if your partner is sitting there and is like, no, bitch, like, I want to have control over that, blah, 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 you still have control. You're pulling your wallet out. Yeah. You're the one paying for it. Like of
can
course.
I at least send you some inspo?
Yeah.
I think, here's my thing. I don't care about how much it costs. I don't care about how big the diamond is. Like, that's not what I think these gentlemen are referencing. I think it's like
the look.
If you know that your girl is a gold girly and you come in with a white gold or a platinum
or a black diamond, bitch.
I was going to say with like sapphires all over, you know, stuff like that.
Unless that's what she likes.
But I'm just like, yeah, if you in no way consider what your person likes, and you just go buy them something and you're like, I don't care, it looks nice, they'll like it.
No.
I would not marry that person. I'd be like, because for such a big thing, I'm willing to bet.
For the rest of your life?
Yeah, and I'm willing to bet that leaks into other things like, okay, when they go to Starbucks, do they even know what you fucking like? Yep. Can you order my Chipotle bowl? Because if you can't, then clearly there's been a miscommunication. I shit you not, with my ex. One time I had a full-blown meltdown, which is not good, working on it. But I remember he went and got Five Guys and he got me a burger and put just a bunch of random, like onions, you know, mustard, all this stuff.
This girl don't eat onions. She don't eat vegetables she can feel.
No, it has to be ground down or in a seasoning.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it was a burger full of shit that I was not going to eat. And I looked at him and I was like, why would you get me this?
Yeah.
He's like, it's food. Just fucking eat it. And I was like, I literally threw it out the window. I was so upset. Threw it out I only regret that there was tinfoil on it. The birds can eat the burger, not the tinfoil.
Yeah.
But I was so incredibly upset. I remember I was screaming and crying about it. And it just hit me like, you don't give a shit.
This ain't my person.
And you've never even, like, we've been together 6 years.
Yeah.
And you've never even asked or thought to, like, know or pay attention to what I order every time. It's not like Five Guys was the first time we'd ever been to a burger joint. So I don't know. It just gives me the icks.
I will say that, like, if you have a spouse who at least reaches out to your friends or to a family member and is like, hey, because with one of my best friends growing up, like, her now husband had reached out and was like, I have an idea of what Steph wants. Like, will you come with me to the jeweler? Just like look at stuff. So I think that's amazing. But if you have a man who's out here that's like, well, I like a round, big fat round diamond or a big fat pear diamond, and that's what I like and what I want on her finger, and I'm the one paying for it, when she is a classic emerald cut gold band simple girly, that's a problem.
It's just a red flag.
It is a red flag. Yeah. If anything, an orange flag for sure.
Okay, speaking of red flag, so this one is not sound, and I'm not going to say who this one was from.
I'm curious.
Because I think they're an idiot.
Tell me after.
I will. So someone posted a video that said, who told you that you need 8 hours of wedding photography? Because they lied. Don't waste your money. Check the caption for the perfect 6-hour timeline.
I've seen that.
And essentially this person, and in the caption, it says something, it says, stop overpaying for hours of dance floor photos you'll never use. This timeline gives you everything you need. No fluff, no wasted time. Okay. Would 6 hours be enough for your wedding, or do you think you need more? Drop your thoughts below. Now, here's problem number one. Hey, what do you think? Drop your thoughts below. If you
After you're being so wildly opinionated.
And if you disagree with her in the comments, she is fighting you. And I'm like,
why are you asking my thoughts below if you're going to come for my throat, bitch?
You're a small business owner.
I don't need to fight with a little photographer on the internet.
Yeah.
And she might be a big photographer. I say little as in she's just being a little bitch.
So I'm going to read off a little bit of this timeline because this is where I think it gets mentally ill. Okay.
Okay.
So 5 p.m. reception space photos before guests enter. That makes sense.
Okay.
After the ceremony, 5:30 grand entrance and dinner. 6 o'clock. Okay. So that means
30 minutes.
You have 30 minutes for grand entrance and to have your dinner.
And to eat.
Yep.
Shovel food into your mouth.
6 p.m. toasts and cake cutting, and 6:30 first dance, and then dances, blah, 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 blah. So when she's giving 30 minutes for dinner, okay, that means your 200 guests sit down. Then salads are plated. They're, getting up to get drinks. Entrees are plated. Like all of these different things, you have 30 minutes. That's going to take at least an hour and a half, maybe a little bit more. So people are calling that out in the comments. They're like, hey.
Logistically, this doesn't work for a larger wedding.
Yeah.
If it's a 15, 20-person small micro wedding or a 2-person elopement, by all means, motherfucker, do your thing. In what universe is this even plausible in a large wedding setting? It's not.
And to be framing this as if, as a photographer, because I'm recommending 8 to 10 hours, you're going, that photographer's trying to make you overpay. They're lying to you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm like, and then some people in the comments are calling out, hey, 30 minutes isn't really enough for dinner. And she goes, well, I mean, they go, well, 30 minutes, I only mean like photographing dinner. I know dinner's longer than 30 minutes. And I'm like, how does that make sense? So you're telling me in the photography timeline, it's only 30 minutes so that you can fit this within 6 hours. So are you only considering the time you're shooting, but then you go sit down and that's not going toward your 6 hours? Like,
so you're not getting paid for the time that you're not shooting?
Make sense.
It makes no sense.
It's rage bait. And then
we
also,
should call her out.
And then
that's okay.
Some people in the comments are like, well, I wouldn't call enjoying your wedding day and like, having breathers throughout. Like, I wouldn't call that fluff. I wouldn't call
wasteful.
That overpaid. Yeah. And she's just combative in the comments.
I want to fight.
You're an idiot.
Sorry. Did you comment?
Did you? You know what I did?
What'd you do?
Because Mel Robbins, right?
Let them.
I kept writing paragraphs and then deleting them paragraphs because I'm like, sometimes you can't fix stupid.
I feel like you told me that. Yeah.
I literally was like, okay. So all I put was LOL.
Did she like
me,
it?
She didn't. To me, that's me saying you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And I don't even have the time to tell you how stupid this is.
I think like beyond being an idiot too, it's super, super heavy on misinformation for potential couples who are planning a wedding. And I think honestly, it's doing a big disservice to anybody who is looking for a photographer to be really mindful, thoughtful regarding a timeline, regarding the time that the couple is spending, regarding the money the couple is spending. And when you're putting that type of misinformation out on the internet, I think you're doing everybody a disservice. And if people are coming for you in the comments, take that as like a learning lesson that maybe you are wrong, because I can guarantee you that there's not a single person in that comment section who is like, love this. Yes, girl. Like, yes, totally on board with this. Like,
and if a potential client came to me after seeing this video and was like, we have 150 people, all this stuff. I'm thinking, we could make a 6-hour timeline work.
I'm doing I'm sitting you down and I'm saying, let me hold your hand when I tell you this. You are getting your information from the wrong person.
And I also think people don't realize that on your wedding day, anything you think will take 5 minutes is going to take easily double, if not triple that time. So it's just nothing ever goes exactly.
It's rage bait. It's just somebody looking to go viral, and that's okay. Have your viral moment. It's not in the way that you thought it would pop off, and that's okay.
Why are we like fighting? And I'm going to use my Canon video as an example. If in the comments I was like, let me know your thoughts if you think Canon is okay about this situation, and then someone's like, yeah, I think Canon's okay, and I'm like,
why would you say that, you motherfucker?
Yeah, I'm like, just post the video if you want a reaction, okay, but like, why are you fighting? It doesn't make sense.
Some people just love to fight. She's like, engagement, all engagement is good engagement. Not in this case, sweetie.
No,
in this case, it's misinformation, and you're doing people a big disservice.
Agreed. Okay, the third video also is not a sound, but this is from @KelseyLayman, who I couldn't agree with this more. And she says, since no one else is saying it, I will. I think if you advertise that you offer film as a wedding photographer, you should know how to manually expose film and not just use a point and shoot. Now,
I saw that.
Here's what I'll expand more on. I think it's okay to say you shoot film and it's a point and shoot.
Right.
It's still film. Where I draw the line is if you are charging like $200 to $300 per roll of film for your couples, that gets dicey to me, because
that's diabolical.
A point and shoot, you really don't know how it's going to be. I bet you can even tell me on your point and shoot what aperture is it shooting at. Like, how do you know what are the capabilities of that camera? So if you're in a really dark space, if you're really in a light space, do you know if that camera's even capable of shooting good film photos in there? And so that makes me really nervous when you have everybody out there who says they're shooting film, which is, again, totally fine. There are film cameras that I have that I shoot on automatic, but I know how to shoot them on manual if I had to. But like my contacts with the flash on top for receptions, automatic TTL flash, easy. But you give me my Canon 1V and a manual flash and I can make it work. But but I'm charging for the film.
Right.
And I think charging for saying like, hey, the film roll cost me $10. It's going to cost me another 20. Like, yeah, I'm going to charge you 30 to 40 bucks. I don't know if you get like a color plus. I don't know what.
That still ain't $10.
I have mostly portrait for the, wedding day. And I just know that's so expensive. But like, if you're charging $40 just to recoup on costs,
right,
totally fine. But when you're getting into like a couple $100 per roll of film, you need to essentially be able to be very confident to your couple that you know what this film is going to look like.
And I think something that's huge too that we talk about a lot on this podcast is having open and honest conversations with your couples. I've had a couple of people reach out to me on consult calls recently and ask me like, I saw that you posted some film from a wedding that you did. And my honest answer is always like, I don't advertise that I do shoot film for weddings because I don't regularly shoot film for weddings. Did I shoot film at the wedding that I did in Mexico? 100%. So the opportunity, presented itself. I really took the time to learn it, to work with it, to have the time, to be able to utilize those moments and shoot film. But am I honest in saying like, do I mainly use my film camera for my personal life and stuff like that? Yes. I don't pull it out on weddings necessarily. However, if you're interested, let me offer you an extremely discounted rate because I am not a seasoned film photographer for weddings.
Yeah.
Here's what the rate would be. Here's what it gets you. Here are the number of photos that typically turn out in a film roll. You know, these are all of the factors that you have to consider, and you don't have to add it onto your package now. If you change your mind down the road and you're like, hey, we actually really love that idea, let's add it on. Perfect.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're getting with me. I'm not lying to you. I'm not sitting here saying like, I've been doing this for 45 years and I'm the best in the business. No. And I do feel like there are some people who advertise certain things without having the stuff to back it up. And I will never be one of those people. I will never be somebody who's dishonest with my client and saying like, oh yeah, I could have easily said like, yes, I offer film. It's, you know, an additional $1,000 for a film add-on. Absolutely not. I'm not doing that. I'm breaking it down very clearly, very honestly. And I think that if people don't do that, again, you're doing your clients a huge disservice and
you
and yourself.
If those film rolls don't turn out,
exactly,
your couple's pissed because, and then they'll come back at you and say like, well,
I want my money back.
The film was very important to me. Yeah. And I feel like you misrepresented. I know, right? He just wants to put
He's
his little,
so cute. He just wants to sleep. I also don't think I've ever necessarily worn jeans on the pod.
They're cute.
Because we show up so early. I'm rolling out of bed.
She rolled up to the house and I even took a video. I was like, oh, she's cute. And like you said, I think we've talked a lot about transparency
and communication
when people are booking you, because no amount of money is worth a nightmare situation later. And them too, they don't want to deal with that. They want you to just be honest.
Yeah.
People ask me on consultation calls a lot. They'll be like, oh, have you ever worked at this venue? And if I haven't, I'm like, no, I haven't. Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you and be like, oh yeah,
I love it. It shoots so beautifully.
Yeah. I'm like, nope, I haven't. But I will tell you, based on my work, based on what I know about photography and venues, I'm not concerned about the venue from a lighting perspective or whatnot. Like, I'll have a very honest conversation, because there are some people who actually love that you haven't worked at their venue before, because they want a new
perspective, a new eye.
And then there are some people who go, I need someone who's worked my venue before, and that's okay. But you need to be honest with these people, because just not all money is good money. Like, you want everyone to feel confident and comfortable. Okay, last video before we get into everything. Again, it's not a voice one, but this is from @LaurenShepardImages, which huge fan of Laura. Sorry, I'm gonna take that back. @LauraShepardImages, huge fan of her, love her work. She's really been going off in terms of lighting and flash photography. She's dropped some courses, I think, and just has a lot of videos about it. But she has a video that says the casualness of switching between flash, film, and ambient lit photos on a wedding day. And I'll post the video so you can see, like, she's got 5 cameras strapped to her body and she's going between this one, that one, this one, that one. And it made me think about the expectations of wedding photographers and how much those have changed. Yeah. And where people start getting finicky about the money of it. And I go, look, I am not just going to show up and capture your day with a camera. I don't even know if I wish I was, but we are directing, we are managing conflict, we are doing so many things, managing emotion. And then on top of that, we have 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras hooked to us, shooting digital, shooting film. Sometimes people are shooting content at the same time, or they're shooting Super 8. You're doing all of these things to hit the expectations where couples have expectations, or they feel like they do, of their wedding, because they see all these pretty weddings and they go, God, mine needs to look like that. Well, then photographers on the flip side see all these things on Instagram and go, well, I need to be doing that. In a gallery, I need to deliver you wides and beautiful. I need to deliver you really tights, like a 70 to 200 millimeter. I need to deliver you medium format film. I need to deliver you 35 millimeter film. Like, there's so many different things that are going on. And I do understand when I tell people, like, okay, the Louis package that I currently offer, fully hybrid, second shooter, full day, $9,000. And to some people, they'd go, never in my life would I pay for that. And I completely understand. But in the same breath, I go, there's a difference when you see someone on wedding day who is hustling. And it is exhausting to do that for 10 hours straight. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it. I think there's a lot of expectations of photographers nowadays, and there needs to be compensation for it.
Well, here's where things change, is that there are photographers who show up and just shoot a wedding. There are people who do that and their price reflects that. However, if you are a couple who is looking for somebody who is an expert in their field, which like I will say even last year, I didn't feel like I was fully like at my best. And I don't know if we'll ever feel that way.
Agreed.
Truthfully, like I don't know if we'll ever feel that way. But there are situations and circumstances where it's like you're getting what you pay for. Yeah. So if you are paying for a higher budget photographer who is going above and beyond and not just showing up with a camera or even two cameras and just shooting your wedding and just coming from the perspective of, well, I'm just here to take photographs. I mean, we can't, even the wedding that we just did in Texas, like with Haley, with the rain stuff, like we are providing not only our expertise when it comes to the photo quality that is provided, but also from the experience of shooting hundreds of weddings before this one, what we would do, what we've seen previously, how we would approach a situation, how we would handle it, what our opinion is based on what we've seen previously, or what our opinion is based on what we would do ourselves on a wedding if it was our wedding. Like there is so much more that goes into it than just showing up and shooting. Also, weeding out, you know, shitty second photographers or associates. Like there's a lot of background stuff that goes into it. And that's not even including the editing, the time that it takes to call, to edit, to do emails, to do your taxes, to do all of the back end stuff, to reach out to all of the vendors, to make sure that your calls are set up, to make sure that your calendar is good, to make sure that your engagement sessions are all, you know, lined up, that nothing's overlapping, to make sure that your schedule is working out, to make sure that you're not double booked for a wedding, to make sure that you're not double booked for an event. There is a lot of marketing, promotion. Do you know how much shit I just listed? Yeah. A lot.
And honestly, and I'm not going to say you're missing things, but
I am.
This was another video that I just saw where people are like, what's the standard turnaround time? And I commented, I said, 8 weeks for me. And I know that may feel long.
Yeah.
But all the things you just listed, then 2 weddings every weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. Weekdays, engagement sessions, consultations. I have 30-day meetings with my clients, 90-day meetings with my clients, like family sessions, all these different things. Like there's so many things on, and then all the clerical things that you had mentioned. And then I'm trying to edit these 1,000, 1,500, you know, photo galleries. 8 weeks goes by like that. Yeah. It is absolutely insane. And that's just from a business perspective. Then you got to eat. You got to sleep. You got to take
have a
shit.
family. Like there are outside things on top of all of the stuff that we just listed. And honestly, I just saw somebody post a video and it was like, $600 for a family session. That seems astronomical. Did you see that? And then it showed, it panned to the next video and it's her bringing in, she was like, here's $300 worth of groceries that my family goes through in a week. Like I have a family to feed. I have bills to pay. Some people have student loans that they have to pay off. People don't understand that like this is our full-time job. This is how we make a living. And this is how we make our lives work while providing a service that we tried to go above and beyond for.
Agreed. And I just, at one point, you got to think this is also a specialist job. Like if I were offering you, you know, something else for $600 that you could easily do yourself.
Yeah. Or get somewhere else.
Yeah. But it's like, as you had mentioned earlier with the Haley's wedding, where it's like, we have done this hundreds of times. I'm not just bringing a camera and my body. I'm bringing so much experience and
thoughtfulness into it.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of money. If you don't want to pay for it, that's totally fine. There's things
but then
I don't
you
want to pay
also
for.
have to be accepting of the fact that you get what you pay for. If you are hiring somebody who's in the $2,500 budget, who is just starting out, who doesn't have as much experience, who might not have like a lot of consistency within their work.
Which, by the way, we were there at one point.
Oh, 100%. Some days I'm like, fuck, am I still there? Like it's really hard. And we are our worst critics. We get down on ourselves more than anyone. But like, I think that's what makes us want to be better.
Agreed. And I do think that is what makes us good photographers is, you know, yes, you want to feel confident, but like, I don't think we'll ever feel settled or we'll never feel like
you will never be satisfied.
Exactly. Like I just, we're always going to want to try new things or get better at the things that we're doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay,
that was a full hour. So
that oh my God,
almost.
it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost a full hour.
These won't be too long, I believe. So this next, and I think I already said who these were from. So just to go back to the main point here is we're talking through rough experiences that bridal parties have gone through or sometimes even caused. So you kick us off.
Okay. And these are just each paragraphs.
Yeah.
Okay. The maid of honor decided to tell the bride the night before the wedding that she forgot to take off work and wouldn't be in the wedding. She never showed up. Diabolical.
And not just a bridesmaid.
Maid of honor. Yeah. At that point, though, like, that's not your friend.
Oh, yeah, no. You should never speak to that person ever again. Pull a Megan. Snippety snap, snap, snap. So when it was time for the father-daughter dance, the father refused to dance, even with his daughter begging him to. Her father-in-law jumped in and did the dance with her. The staff and all the guests felt sorry for her.
That's why I don't have a dad.
No, literally.
Fuck
that's
them
why
daddies.
we were like, we don't need a dad. If they're going to pull stuff like that. Oh,
my own
speaking
stepfather.
of,
I was married. I did my father-daughter dance with him. He walked me down the aisle. He married me. Don't say that shit is sweet. That man acts like
yeah,
I do not exist.
Yeah, I just mean like in the moment. I
Fuck
bet that
these
was
men.
Nice. But also at the wedding we were last at, they did the sweetest thing where they did a mother-daughter dance. Either I think it was the Chicks or Fleetwood Mac. I think it was the Chicks version of Landslide, and then they invited all the mothers and daughters.
I was sobbing.
Yeah,
we were sobbing.
We were absolutely crying. For some reason, that made me more sad than a father-daughter dance.
Yeah,
it just was like you see these relationships between mothers and daughters, and I was like, that is the sweetest thing I've ever seen, and I could not help myself.
One thing that I will say, I did a content wedding recently, and I've never, watching father-daughter dances, I've never felt like, oh, I wish I had a dad, whatever. This wedding, the way I was holding back tears, it was the cutest thing. The dad did his speech. It was his last daughter getting married, his youngest. I'm going to cry right now. At the end of his speech, Meg, he made a whole slideshow of photos from when she was a little girl of them together and put it on the screen. And it was like from the time that she was little to then like her now husband being in the picture. And it was this entire slideshow to this like daddy-daughter song. And she went over and she sat on his lap. Oh my God, I'm literally crying. It was the cutest thing. And they were both crying. And she had her arm around him, and he was just like kissing her cheek. And I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
The only time in my life I've ever wanted a dad. Are you kidding me? Like, way to hit me emotionally right now.
Also, this is just to showcase how important photographs are.
Yeah.
Throughout our entire
lives. Oh my gosh.
You know what's funny? Because Nikki and I don't speak to our actual fathers. I was telling my sister the other day, because she does speak to that side of the family. I said, whenever those two kick it, please go get the photos for me.
Yeah.
That's all I want, because those photos remind me of a better time.
Yeah.
And like when I was a kid.
And that's what you want to remember.
Yeah. And one of the best things that I think my dad and my stepmom did is like they love taking photos of us kids, and like everything is documented. And I just want those so bad because they were of just such a good time.
Right.
And I want to remember those. So, you know, I'm considering breaking into their house before they die.
I'll help you. I like crime.
The police are going to pull this at some point after one of us do something.
Okay. Best man giving details about groom's pooping habits during the speech. Groom started crying and ran into the woods as the father shouted, "I told you not to have him in the wedding." Groom's face was red from crying in the rest of the pictures. First of all, talk about your poop. Who cares? It is not that serious.
Yeah.
I am so sorry. We're running into the woods and crying about poop.
Also, have you ever seen a scary movie? You're running into the woods.
You're going to
What's
get
wrong with you?
murdered.
Like, to run into the woods is the most dramatic thing
Especially
I've ever
after
heard.
some poop story. Unless
Also,
he has like diabolical IBS like I do, get over it.
I might be calling bullshit on this though, because like groom started crying. So this is during
Speeches.
You run into the woods, and then your face is red for the rest of the photos. What photos are there after speeches?
We don't know how people do it. This
That's
might be
true.
from the UK. I don't know.
Maybe this is one of these 6-hour wedding days where you're really
You're like, all right, now we got to get these photos right now. Now, quick turnaround. Like, shut up.
was in a friend's bridal party, but one of the bridesmaids coordinating the bachelorette was splitting the cost among everyone else. but didn't pay for any herself.
So listen, she's making y'all pay for her hosting fees, it sounds like.
I was going to say, that sounds like a businesswoman to me. No, don't do that. I actually heard that when I had the TikTok, there was a story going around where the bride, her dad actually paid for this like luxury Airbnb and whatever, but she acted like she needed the bridesmaids
to pay for it, to give her money,
to pay a cut. And then in passing, a family member said like, oh, you're so lucky to have dad pay whatever. And the bridesmaids was like, and it was thousands of dollars per bridesmaid. And then that the bride had spent the money on like
a bag or something.
No, a $20,000, I think it was an ice sculpture for the wedding day.
Don't piss me off.
And couldn't get the money back.
Don't piss me off.
Insane.
Sick. Hearing all the gossip from bridesmaids behind the bride's back during hair and makeup always makes me so sad. I've heard some of the most awful things said. First of all, I don't want bridesmaids.
No.
I don't fuck with you. I'm kidding. I do have friends that I love that I want. They're getting ready with me. But these are people that I know would not be talking behind my back. And if they did, I'd turn around and fucking slap the shit out of them.
Literally, if it was my wedding day and bridesmaids were talking shit about me behind my back, I would tell them to leave.
Yep.
Or I would just decide that they're not standing with me. And then I'd go to my partner and I'd say, yours will also not be standing with you. We are changing this up. And then I will never speak to any of you ever again.
Yeah.
Ever again.
It's cool. Anyway, those were good.
Oh, we got more.
Oh, okay.
The bride didn't tell me that I wasn't going to have flowers or walk down the aisle. She essentially wanted even numbers at the altar, but still made me buy a dress for the pictures that she ended up cropping me out of. She also didn't get me the robe that all the other girls had or the hair pieces, jewelry, but wanted me to still feel like a bridesmaid. Well, I had to stand in the back of the chapel. One of the other bridesmaids told me all of this the night before the rehearsal after picking me up from the airport. I spent $2,000 on the bachelorette trip and the wedding trip dresses, the nails she demanded, etc. She said I needed to separate the events of my life from the events in others. She also made one of the others take out her nose ring. You really can't see it unless it's like of the photos, of her face. She was a bridezilla to say the least.
That's not your friend. That girl actually hates your fucking guts.
No, literally.
She hates you.
But has some obligation or feels obligated?
I think she hates her so. Yep. She hates that girl.
And she just wants to make her feel bad.
That makes me think of like the girls who I was friends with back at the church. Oh, be chill. The church that I was a part of, like, if I was a diabolical human and, because I really disliked them.
Yeah.
I would be like, hey, let's make up. Let's make up and be friends. And then when I get married, it'd be like, hey, we were such good friends. You want to be a bridesmaid? I would never do this because I'm not an actual crackhead.
Yeah.
But that's what it sounds like to me. And I'd be like, yeah, spend all the money on the bachelor. Yeah, do this.
I don't know how people have the energy. I'm tired.
I don't have it.
There are people in my life who I feel like have done me wrong, and I have ammo. I could take them out.
I have ammo.
And I'm like, but I'm tired.
I don't have the time.
So don't speak on me. I won't speak on you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The bridesmaid dresses were those convertible material dresses, bride told me, and sent me a picture of the dark purple version, which I bought. After talking with the other bridesmaids, I was only familiar with the bride and newer friends, so I was surprised I was even asked to be a bridesmaid. All the other bridesmaids told me their dresses were hot pink. I asked the bride if I should exchange my dress, and she said no, I had the right color and the other girls were wrong. Well, fast forward to the wedding. I was definitely the only one in the wrong color, and the bride seemed annoyed with me and told all her other bridesmaids that what I did was embarrassing. To this day, I don't understand why she did that, and needless to say, we are no longer friends. Again, this girl fucking hates you.
Yeah.
She hates you.
I don't think there's anything more psychotic than making someone do something and then pretending that they did it on their own and saying how crazy it is.
It's hate.
Crazy. One of our groomsmen lied and said he was getting deported because he didn't have enough money for the suit that we offered to help pay for. He is still in the country.
That is actually honestly such an amazing excuse to get out of something.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't. I'm getting deported. That's insane.
You could probably use that.
Honestly, I am a second gen American citizen. I wish I was closer.
Wait, closer to your Ecuadorian side?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I claim that shit 100%. I don't care what my ancestry.com says. I grew up in Ecuador.
Yeah.
I was fully immersed in my Ecuadorian culture. I will eat that shit up till the day I die. Okay.
To anybody worried out there about this political issue, I don't think you should be worried based on like where you come from, because I feel like eventually you say something someone doesn't like, they'll send you somewhere else. Like,
yeah, you're going to Guantanamo.
Yeah. I told Adam, I said, we should just get ready, because I posted a lot of shit on the internet and they're going to find me.
At this wedding in Texas, Meg was like, I swear one of these days we're going to say something that gets us canceled. And I looked at her and I said, bitch, who is we?
Yeah.
Who is we?
It'll for sure be me. For sure. I think last one's you.
My 2 maids of honors told me they didn't want to speak to me ever again when they realized they were supposed to organize my bachelorette party, and that meant to spend money on someone else other than them. They're a couple. So they backed down. They backed out 3 months before the big day with no bachelorette planned, and after we went to the mayor's office to enlist them as maids of honors, which is what you do in France. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Well.
But also shitty. I do understand that things get expensive, but also, like, if you're a maid of honor, I just feel like that's kind of, you're like, yeah, I'm putting some things together. You enlist other people in the bridal party to kind of help pay for things. But I don't know. I wouldn't go into a situation thinking that I was going to be out $5,000 to throw you a party if I'm your only bridesmaid.
Really?
Really. I will.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah, no,
I'm
not doing it.
I wouldn't either.
Now, if you're like, Meg, do you want to go to Vegas for my bachelorette? I will lose $5,000, but I will not
in my
willingly
name.
In your name, exactly. But I will not willingly. So I'm like, how much money was this really going to cost? Where you're like, no, I don't want to do it.
Also, why are those your maids of honors? Like, again, I think maybe some people have a lack of awareness of the level of friendship that they have with others. And it's like, these people clearly don't like you enough to even have a clarifying conversation with you. They automatically are just jumping to, I will never speak to you again, and I don't want to be your maids of honors.
Yeah.
What?
It's like, what
those
was
are not
the
your
connection?
Friends. Yeah.
I like to err on the other side, where I go, even people that are my good friends, I go, I don't know if they like me. I just try to tell myself that every day, so I can really protect myself.
Exactly.
In the event that Nikki one day goes, I don't actually like you. I'd be like, I knew it. It's okay, because I totally knew that the entire time.
You're like, sure. Okay. Got it.
Have a nice life. Don't tell no lies about me. I won't tell truths about you. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining this cocktail hour. Don't forget to subscribe, review the pod wherever you listen.
And make sure you follow along with us on social media. We're on Instagram at cocktailhour.podcast. The link is in our bio to submit all of your stories anonymously. Any hot takes, questions, anything you got. Also, do not go to roughstartrescue.com to look into other dogs other than Opie to adopt, because I will just say this dog has found its forever home.
I know, I said that, Mama.
Okay.
Is he dead?
He's sleeping.
If you're only listening on Apple, please just hop over to YouTube real quick, or Spotify, just to see the puppy.
Also, not to be annoying, but like, it would be really helpful if everybody could subscribe, comment, share anything, because your girls, I think we're entertaining, and I just really need us to pop off.
I know. We need to get better at posting our videos and stuff, because I have not. I literally didn't post that on Instagram. Here's the other thing. I know we're ending the show, and we were ending this episode, but low key, running one Instagram account is already crazy, and then to do another. But we're working on it. We're gonna get a good process, all that good stuff. But yeah, if you're not, like, if you haven't gone to your podcast, Apple, your Spotify, your YouTube to like and subscribe,
and leave us a review.
Yeah,
tell us we're funny,
please. Even if you don't think so, it's okay.
Tell us you like us.
This is where lying can benefit the world. Anyways, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.